Welcome. My name is Hannibal from FinletForum.com. If you want a one-on-one analysis just like the one that we're going to cover, you can go to book.finletforum.com. Again, that's book.finletforum.com. We do affordable and effective credit repair. We want to make the process transparent. So when we do this on your behalf, you're going to have a portal to track everything we're doing. You're going to have an app to track everything that we're doing. You're going to get emails every day letting you know what to expect. But our clients love the most the fact that they get charged after they get results. We have a pay per delete option where you are invoiced for your negative items after they're removed. You have $50 per negative item after they are actually removed, and you can pay it in reasonable installments. But most importantly, I want you guys to understand the categories of credit. I want you to understand the proper habits to maintain. All of these things are really important. Once you understand the habits to maintain and what your consumer rights are, your score will be high accordingly. So we're going to jump right into it. No fluff. Let's just get right into it. We're going to look at an example credit score from one of my clients. I actually just scrubbed some of the information that's personal. As we can see here, we're going to have the scores from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You also can see the negative items that are also included with that report. As we scroll down, we're going to see the total negative items within the past 24 months and items within the statute of limitations, which is 7 to 10 years that they can be sued for. But most importantly, we're going to look at the negative items now. We see evictions, not evictions, we see late payments. We're going to see stuff like collections, inquiries, current payments, things like that, repossessions. All those things are derogatory items that may be in the report. We even see some items that are paid right now. There is no balance at all owed. There's nothing past due. It's current now, but it has a history of being late, which we want to purge all history of it ever being late. Or we see some discrepancies. We see things like this being a quote unquote charge off or collection, but yet it's showing that it's a late payment. Something cannot be a late payment and be a collection at the same time. Something cannot be a collection and be 120 days late at the same time. But more importantly, we want to go over the categories of credit and exactly how you can enhance those categories of credit. So we're going to go first with payment history. Your score is going to be a range from a 350 to an 850, which is 500 points. In this, you want to know the different categories of credit that's going to improve your score. So payment history is worth 35% of that. 35% of 500 is 175 points. So you can gain or lose 175 points based on how often you pay on time. It's really pivotal to pay on time. Anything less than 97% payment history is considered bad. It's very easy to fall below 97%. In fact, if you miss one payment on one account in 1 year, you will fall below 97%. Because one missed payment on one account in a year is paying 11 out of 12 months on time. And when you divide 11 by 12, that's 91.667%. Missing one late payment on one account in 2 years is paying 23 out of 24 months on time. And when you divide 23 by 24, that's 95%. Missing one payment on one account in 3 years is paying 35 months on time out of 36. When you divide 35 by 36, that's 97.2%. Remember, we need to have 97% payment history just to have a passing grade. That's like your parents saying to you, I'm glad you got an A, but I expect an A plus every semester. It's a very strict category. There's no room and margin for error. One late payment can drop our score a lot. Now I want to give you guys some solutions. If you're ever in a position where you're going to have a late payment, I want you to call the creditor up and make a payment arrangement with them. I want you to say, hey, I can pay $5 towards this until I catch up. Or I want you to tell them, hey, I'm having a tough situation. This is my experience. I feel like I'll be in a better situation in 8 months. Can we pause our payments? Can we postpone our payments for 6 to 8 months? That's called deferment. Either of those options will avoid you from being reported late. We never want to ever be reported late on our payments because it's so drastic to our score. So we're going to deal with not the past items that you see. In the present and future, we want to have the habits of always paying on time going forward. Now with this, again, we're going to address the late items because they're not accurately reporting. They're not 100% accurate and verifiable. That's the grounds that we're going to use to remove it. We're going to use the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, and the Fair Credit Billing Act to remove those negative items. So again, payment history is 35% of your score or 175 points. The next category is utilization ratio, which is 30% of your score or 150 points. In this category, you have to use less than 30% of your available limits. Ideally, you want to use 1 to 5% of your available limits because that's the best thing that you can do for your score. Creditors don't want to see you over leveraging yourself, right? All these things are important. So if they give you $1,000 limit, they want to see you use less than 30%. So they want to see you use less than $300. My strongest recommendations is to use 1 to 5% of your limit, which is very little. What I'm saying in layman's terms is if you have a $1,000 limit, I want you to use $50. What? You want me to use $50 of $1,000? I'm going to make it make sense for you. Let's say that you had a niece and nephew that you were both giving $20 to. One child spent everything on junk food, pizza, cake, donuts, ice cream, action figures, all that stuff. They spent it all. The other kid spent only a little bit of money on a bottle of water and pound cake. Who would you want to give money to going forward more? You might give it to both, but you would have your reservations about giving to the person that spent it all. That's the way banks feel. They want to see that you're not over leveraging yourself. So 1 to 5% is the best. Less is more. They're going to trust you with a higher limit going forward. That's 30% of your score or 150 points. The next category of credit is often underrated. Most people, when they're trying to fix their credit, they look at these first two areas. They say, let me pay on time every time. They say, let me lower my utilization ratio. That's good. Those are habits you should have, but that's only 65% of your score. The next 15% of your score is 75 points. This can be make or break. 75 points is your average age of credit. Anything in this category less than 4 years on average is considered fair. Anything less than 2 years on average is considered poor. They want to know that you have a track record of maintaining credit well over time. This is really, really important. They need to know that you have a good track record. Just like if you're having a job, they want to know that you weren't just a cashier, that you didn't just start last year. You have some experience. So in this category is where 15% of your score are 75 points. There's certain things you might do that might lower your average age of accounts. If you open up too many new accounts at once, you are going to lower your average age. If you get rid of your oldest accounts, you will diminish your average age of credit. I'm going to give you 2 examples. Let's say you had 10 years of credit history because you're 30 and you had credit since you're 20. Let's say you had 2 accounts. When you have 10 years of history, you have 2 accounts. That's good. 10 years divided by 2, 10 years of history divided by 2 accounts is 5 years on average, which is good in this category. It's over 4 years. But if you said life is going well, I got married, I got a raise, I'm feeling myself, let me open up 8 new accounts. You would go from having 2 accounts to having 10 accounts. When you have 10 years of history divided by 10 accounts, that's 1 year on average, which is considered poor in this category. You would lose almost 75 points from that action alone. Let me give you the flip side. Removing your oldest accounts from your profile might lower your average age. Some people ask me, can you remove student loans? Yes, you can. I'm going to show you exactly how in the next step, how we can remove them. But should we? Everything we should do should be about strategy and how we're impacting these categories of credit. I graduated in 2009. That's over 13 years. Let's say I just started my first credit card 2 years ago. If I got rid of a 13-year-old account, my average age would plummet. So we want to be strategic and surgical about what we're doing and tactical, and knowing that we're doing things that, knowing what impact each action we take is going to have on our score. Again, that's 15% of your score or 75 points. The next category is going to be account mix. Account mix is going to be 10% of your score, 50 points. They need to know that you have a track record of maintaining credit well. They need to know that you can manage different types of accounts, which is installment accounts and revolving accounts. Installment accounts have a beginning and end date. Revolving accounts are your credit cards. So you need to know that you have different types. You want to have about 10 accounts in total for good account mix to get most of those 10% or 50 points. We're not going to do this overnight because, again, we don't want to disrupt our average age of accounts. We're going to gradually build and maintain well all of the accounts that we have, and we'll get that 10% or 50 points. And last but not least, we have inquiries. Even though it's only 10% of your score and only 50 points, it has a big impact. Having too many inquiries at once can get you red flagged and rejected by an institution. By that alone, you don't want to have too many inquiries. Most institutions want to see you have less than 5 inquiries in a 24-month span. They are precious, so do not over leverage yourself. The good news is you can get rid of inquiries that are older than 18 months. You can also get rid of inquiries that are not tied to an open and current account. So all in all, whenever you wonder what your score is or how you get it to a different place, you're going to ask yourself these 5 questions. You're going to say, am I paying on time over 97% of the time? If so, that's 175 points. Am I using too much of my available limit? Am I using less than 30% of my available limit? If so, you'll get most of those 150 points. Is my average length of accounts? Is my average length over 4 to 5 years? If so, you get most of those 75 points. Is my account mix? Do I have different types of accounts? Do I have installment accounts and revolving accounts? Do I have almost 10 accounts that are maintained well? If so, you get most of those 50 points. And have I applied for too much in a 2-year span? If not, you will get most of those 50 points. And those are the categories of credit that make up your score. So you always need to pay attention to those aspects of credit. Next, we're going to go over to a different slideshow. We're going to go to the analyzer report. Let me zoom out to not get someone's personal information on. We're going to go to the analyzer report. Perfect. Let's zoom into full. So on here, we're going to see everything that's not consistent and accurate on a report. Your report has to be 100% accurate and 100% verifiable. Everything has to be accurate and verifiable to be on your report. If it is not 100% accurate and 100% verifiable, we have the grounds to remove it. If something's 100% accurate, everybody should have the same answer. If you ask me what 2 + 2 is, and yourself what 2 + 2 is, and my twin brother what 2 + 2 is, all of us should say 4. None of us should say 900, none of us should say 19. But Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are saying different things. If something's accurate, everybody should have the same answer. Not only does it have to be accurate, it has to be verifiable. So I'm going to give you an example. If the teacher asked you what 12 times 12 is, and you did the math and said it's 144, and then the teacher asked me what 12 times 12 is, I don't know the answer, but I copied you. I said 144. The teacher would say, great, you guys have the same answer. You have the right answer. Now show your work. Now you did the work. You multiplied. You wrote it out. You carried the one. I copied you, so I cannot show the work. I would fail that exam because I cannot show proof. In real life, the bureaus and the data furnishers have to show proof. So it has to be accurate and it has to be verifiable. On here, we're going to see many reasons why reports are not accurate or verifiable. This allegedly is a collection, but if it's a collection, it should be a closed account. It should be charged off and written off as a loss. Right here, this collection is showing as an open account. Then it's contradicting itself. It's not showing as a charged off closed payment. It's showing as a late payment 120 days, where collections typically occur after 180 days and get charged off, so they can't possibly be late. So is this late 120 days? Is this a collection and closed and charged off? Is it open? It can be all 3 of these things at the same time. Equifax says this account is okay. Is it okay in good standing, or is it a collection? Which one is it? Next, we have this LVNV account, right? Is this an open account, or is it a closed and charged off collection? Is the months 1 month, or is it 0 months? Is it a collection or charge off, or is it late 120 days? These are contradictory. Is the date last reported going to be June 9th, or is it June 1st? All these things are not consistent and accurate. Is it a charge off or collection, or is it okay, right? We have this Westlake Financial account, which is a repossession. So yes, repossessions can be removed as well. Is it derogatory, or is it open? The date open, I doubt they got this auto loan on May 1st and then got the very same auto loan on May 13th, right? That's impossible. So that's not accurate. The number of months, is it 0 months or is it 72? The date last reported is not consistent. The date of last activity is not consistent. The date of last payment is not consistent. All these things on your report are not consistent, not accurate, and not verifiable. Then we have payment history. Hopefully I can zoom in. I don't think I can zoom in for you guys. Hopefully you guys aren't as blind as I am. But the bureaus seem like they're blind because this stuff is inaccurate. In September, is this okay or is this on time 30 days, right? Is it okay or is it on time 30 days? All these things are not, is it 150 days late or is it 120 days late? All these things are not consistent. Is this a 180-day late payment for this credit card or is it a collection? Is the high credit limit 626 or is it 300? The date open is not consistent. The account status is not consistent. The date of last activity is not consistent. The date of last payment is not consistent. All these things are not accurate and not verifiable, therefore giving us the grounds to remove it because of all the inconsistencies on the report. Over 85% of reports have inaccuracies on them, right? So it's really important to make sure that you're reviewing your reports and scouring them and looking at these items and what we're going to do about it. Sure, we see that they're not consistent and not verifiable and violating your rights. We have many consumer protection rights. We have the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We have the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. We have the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act. And we have the Fair Credit Billing Act. All these are consumer protection laws, congressional rights, federal rights that the bureaus, the data furnishers, the creditors, they all have to abide by. When you leverage these in writing certified mail, you actually can enforce your rights and make sure your report is 100% accurate, 100% verifiable, or 100% timely. Even your positive items are inaccurate. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pay attention to the 5 categories of credit that I mentioned, making sure your payment history is on time over 97% of the time, which is 175 points. Your utilization is under 30%, which is 150 points. Your average age is between 4 to 5 years, which is 75 points. Your account mix needs to be good account mix. You need to have installment accounts and revolving accounts. That's going to be 50 points. And you need to have less than 5 inquiries in a 2-year span. That's another 50 points. You're going to use these consumer laws. You're going to dispute in writing certified mail. The bureaus will receive your letters in about a week. They're in 3 different states. Once they receive it, they'll have 45 days to respond. If we're doing it on your behalf, we're going to make it transparent. You will have a portal to track what we're doing. You're going to have an app to track what we're doing. You're going to get emails every day letting you know what to expect from the process. You're going to get tips and pointers on how to add positive items in the right order, in the right sequence, and you're going to maintain it well, like I just taught. You will get invoiced after your negative items are successfully removed, and you can pay it in reasonable installments. So please go to book.finlitforum.com to get your own credit analysis for me to break down, or our team to break down all the negative items that you see just like this. We'll show you what's not accurate, what's not verifiable. We'll show you how you're doing on your very own credit report. We'll show you what things you need to address. We're going to show you what derogatory items you have. We'll show you what's within the statute of limitations, and we will help you get your score to that 750 range so that you can buy your home, so that you can get business credit and funding, so that you can get rewards and perks. My name is Hannibal. I'm the executive director of FinLit Forum. Again, you can go to www.finlitforum.com to sign up. Enrollment is $333. Anybody that signs up gets a 3 to 7 day vacation to a destination of their choice, like Dubai, Fiji, Santorini, Greece, Rome, Paris, anything like that. You'll get a 3 to 7 day vacation for 2. Unfortunately, it's not a family trip, but we like to appreciate our customers that enroll with us. And again, you pay after you get results. We look forward to hearing from you. You can call 551-310-3863. Again, that's 551-310-3863. Or you can go to Hannibal10k.com. I will see you guys later. I appreciate you guys. Take care.